Hello everyone, good morning, or in a couple of minutes, good afternoon, at least here. Let's see, there we go, very last minute this time. I wasn't even sure if I was going to stream on time. Let me see how I'm actually doing. I know I am doing 39 stack blocks per hour though, there we go. Yeah, that's what I've been doing the whole time. Alright, Dave was the first one to say hello. So hello Dave, Rachel, morning Dub, morning Rachel. Wilson says hi to all. Hello Wilson, hello Spartans as well. Afternoon Dub, hope all is well. Martin, hello. I seen your message right before I started setting up the stream, by the way. Hello all, hello, myself, good evening. Yes, good evening to you Martin. Mary NG, hello. Hello to the few people that made it here at the very last minute because I just posted the announcement out that I was gonna stream. 11th place, huh? That was 10th place for a minute, but yeah, I figured Raw was gonna log back in. I'm surprised how high I am in the leaderboard, like how good this is. Because I was expecting to end between like 15th place and something. Yeah, maybe 15th place. I was very close to top 10, like wow. Like Raw is probably doing 40 or 41 stack box per hour. That's really not that far off from what I'm making. I didn't see a way to improve this any further though. Like he probably has a salt station. Yeah, I would imagine at least like a salt station to clear up some space here. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I just had no idea what I could do to improve this beyond 39 per hour. I mean, I already made a lot of improvements as is. Figured either way I would have gotten top 25, but I did the best I could with this setup. 39 rate, wow, place 11. Sorry, starting to get normal. Yeah, I think it's great either way. I didn't expect to get top 10 on this though, you know. Well, and I know some people are like, Dub, you could have gotten 10th place. You know, you could have gotten it. Yeah, you're right. I could have gotten 10th place. See, I'm in that situation where where if people played the game fairly, I could have gotten 10th place. I will probably piss someone off by saying that, but if you know, you know, okay? Either way, top 25, I will take it. I did the best I could. Oak and Shield, good morning. Martin, really, you're surprised. Amazing, Permin 2.0. The mini Permin, right? Tony Roy says, getting in the 600, not that bad, given I was in the 300 this morning. Nice, nice, yeah. I mean, there's always a slide, right? Everybody expects it. Don't know how bad it was for you guys. Let me know how you did. Hopefully you did good enough, whatever you decided to do. Ice block, staff box, right? Alina says hiya. Hello Alina, welcome, welcome. They did release the details for the next meta, which we're going to look at in a moment. Should I wait until the competition actually ends here? Let's see, I do have a previous build showcase we're gonna look at too, because it's similar to next week's meta. Tony Roy says I was producing 8k per hour for ice blocks. That's not bad. That's like the no NFT rate, or that should be the no NFT required rate. Martin says 3 minutes to go, 501. Hold, you'll make it, Martin. You'll make it to top 600 right there. I'm seeing at least 2 people say that they had issues in offline mode with borrowing NFTs from the guild library, that their NFTs got revoked, and that's not new. I've heard that happen a couple of times already. I assume that's part of the fast forward bugs that they're trying to fix, that they said so the past 2 town halls. But clearly that is still an issue for some people. It's not even a widespread issue, because it seems like that only happens to like 1% of the people. So that sucks that happens. I've not heard anybody report that happening this week in my supporters only guild, but that has happened to one person before in my guild. And yeah, it's just a bug, it's just a screw up from who knows what. David, hello. 20,000 ice blocks, rank 82. Very nice. Yeah, top 100 just from the ice blocks. And 20k ice blocks, so... Yeah, so some of those NFTs must have helped, huh? Yeah, they must have. Oh, congratulations, though. Yeah, that's very good. Alina says, at all the latest competition, I was like 402, 406, 409. Now I'm 394, but I would be 401. Damn, so close. Let me know, Alina, since we're like 2 minutes away from it. Yeah, I'll check the Discord and the competition details right when it ends. That's fine. I think I still have to do the daily challenge also. Wow, 20k. Yeah, that's very good. I know in the Ice Block Build Showcase, like I showed different scenarios depending on which NFTs you had. I believe there was one scenario where I was making over 20,000 ice blocks per hour. So like, you know, with the diamond water pump, with the crystal reindeer, birdhouses, corrupted Pax Tavern, blueprint for the storehouse, bulky storehouse, all that stuff together. Yeah, you could hit a good rate like that. I know some people were making more ice blocks than that too. Yeah. Philosopher stones, huh? I'm not like too big into Harry Potter, but I've heard that one before. There might be other like books or movies where philosopher stones are a thing that I don't know of. Maybe there's more references. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Let me actually Google it. Is there something else that comes from? There we go, competition ended. Congrats to those who made it. Alina, let me know what rank you ended at. Or maybe you'll have to check in the menu here. More than that, really? How? They're using sorcerer's huts, which are basically allow them to have more master wizards to make ice. They're using aquifers, which don't need the ponds. They're using rare water pumps, which do allow them to have bigger range of water drums, you know, rare water pumps, in addition to the diamond water pump, which is a big space saver. There's ways. There are ways for sure. I would like to see somebody's build that's like 30k or even more than that ice blocks per hour, like LV Postman. At least the past two Anything Goes competitions, he did an amazing job with the ice block builds. I don't know how it came out this time. I haven't heard him say a raid or a rank. But you know, I would like to see that, to see how it works. I'm pretty sure I could do some amazing ice block build. I just haven't bothered. Like I haven't dedicated the time to doing that, just because it's time consuming, right, to make an ice block build. Even for me, where it would only take a couple hours to do so. Alina was 399 when it closed, but wait to see. Yeah. XE9, hello. Yeah, there we go. 11th place finish. Alina 401. Dang. That's tough. So close. Be proud either way. I mean, you did what you could to get there. I mean, I'm in a similar situation as you. It's only 1,000 Gala difference from here. It's more so the achievement of saying I would have gotten top 10. But yeah, I'm surprised I even got 11th place here. Damn, really close. Okay, yeah, LV Postman did get top 25. I'm assuming he did ice blocks again, but I'm not so sure. I know, was it Citizen that did ice blocks? But Citizen must have probably gotten top 50. I can't really tell. Oh yeah, he did. He's right here next to Sandvilla. Rachel 137, awesome. The Jackal says, Dub, are you having plan? Gonna make a video best blueprint NFT? That is in the plans, but I haven't started on that, to be honest. But at some point, I would like to do. That would probably be the next NFT related video, like best blueprints. Like I would talk about all the blueprints. I'm pretty sure on the ones that are on the Townstar playbook, and then I would try to organize them into which ones I think are the best. Which I've said before, but I think the Great Woodlands is still the best one. Like it's kind of obvious because we use trees all the time. But that is still the plan, and then after that, at some point, a top 10 best but high budget NFTs. Of course, the most expensive ones, Hatchet Hank probably being one of the top ones there. Definitely being one of the top ones there. Alina says, I think I need some NFTs. I cannot handle another for one. That's your sign. It is only the idea of top 400, yeah. DeFi says, hi, nice game, enjoy doing Stackbox. You think you enjoy doing it. With no NFTs, I would not enjoy doing it, but with a lot of NFTs, it's manageable, at least. Tatweez, hey Dub, DM you? Sure thing. Appointment says 49th, congratulations. Let's see, damn, 29k icebox per hour. I see. This was with diamond, water pump, aquifers, crystal reindeer, snowman. Oh yeah, like I don't know if you were using this to tweets, but legendary satisfactories would also be another big one to help save space for ice blocks because of the 4 passive gold. And you also had NFTs for the gas setup. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a lot of master wizards. I'm not going to show it on stream because you should keep the secret for the next anything goes competition. But yeah, that's awesome. That must have been so expensive too. I heard some people say their builds were like 300 mil or something, or close to that. And yeah, apparently the no NFT or the ice block build showcase was like 260 mil. I'm like, I don't remember it being that. That's really expensive. But hopefully they cash boosts help people out. Let me go in here and see what the challenge is, and then I will check the Discord announcements. DeFi says keeping stack box balance can be tough. Oh, for sure. I did have fun tweaking and adjusting my own stack box build, even though it's like the same one I used the past 2 competitions. Like I continue to improve it as much as I could. Oh, no Santa NFTs? Okay. Yeah, but that would be another space saver one. I saw you use a monumental snowman there. Because the monumental snowman would be just for the 3 passive cold. Because the movement speed boost it gives, I think it's just for Wizards Workshops, if I remember correctly. Let me at least get started on this by placing down the seaweed stand. Let's see. Seaweed stand. And that means I wouldn't need this. Aquaculturist apartments. Seafood warehouse. So stack of gas, because I gotta build 2 fish farms. Vanillis Rotos, hello. Hi Deb, hi everyone. After 17 hours unstopped to build the town with 17,000 per hour, my position was 108, almost top 100, but next time I'll do my best. That's awesome. 17 hours non-stop of getting cash and building. Damn. There's a lot of effort though. Not everybody wants to put that much effort into it. That's why some people absolutely do not want to do an ice block build. The similar situation for the stack box build though, because nobody wants to practice for 10 to 15 hours trying to balance it. Even though during the competition, like once you know what you're doing, it's not going to be that difficult because it's already balanced. You're just rebuilding everything. It's the practice. You will spend a lot of time practicing, and not everybody's able to do that. Let's leave it at that for now. Alright, here's the official announcement for next week's competition. That's going to be to sell Philosopher Stones. I already updated the Townstar Playbook last night with this information. Let's look at Philosopher Stones first. Like, what the heck are those, right? This is basically going to be a notch above Candlestick meta, which we did about 3 months ago. So Philosopher Stones will require 1 gold ore, which is not bad. 2 crude oil, which is not bad because we're getting an oil seep, thankfully. And most people have crude oil NFTs, I would imagine. But, you know, for those who don't, it's fine because we have the oil seep, so that won't be an issue either. 2 Mystic Matter will be difficult, but 1 Candlestick will probably be the most difficult thing to make here. Mystic Matter and Candlestick are very similar because you will require a lot of beehives and pottery shops to make this work. So with that being said, nuclear power will pretty much be required here. You know, if you don't have NFTs to help you with that. DeFi says, I knew I could place higher with ice, but could not face the time it takes to build. Yeah, that too. Yeah, no, because maybe some people have more time to practice stack box before the competition starts. And then maybe some people don't have time to practice, but they do have time to actually do the competition. You know, it just kind of depends on your scheduling. Philosopher Stones will have a craft time of 2 minutes with no NFTs, right? Crystal Reindeer should take this down to a minute. Oh yeah, the period here kind of confuses me, but that should be a comma. Okay, it is crafted in the Master Wizard, impacted by all these NFTs. So it's going to be able to be crafted in the NFT versions of the Master Wizards, which is the Epic Master Wizard and the Alchemist Academy Rare, which is new. So this was a hint towards the new NFT, which we will also look at in NFT Harbor in a moment. Here's the biome. It's going to be a plains biome with a river on the south. Oil Seep is closer to the west, so I think that's a good position for it. No mountain. You do need limestone for cotton yarn. So you're going to have to use shallow mines, I guess, right? Just for the limestone. Not that bad, I think. You really don't need that much limestone. If you're doing no NFTs, 1 shallow mine should be enough. So that really shouldn't be an issue. Noldori, hello, first time above 600. Congratulations on your placement. Let's go back to the cash boost for this, for the Philosopher's Stone meta. Mystic Matter is going to be cash boosted almost 5 times the amount, but Mystic Matter is annoying to make. Gold ore is the biggest cash boost here. So instead of doing Gold Rush, this time you're just going to be doing Gold Ore Rush. I mean, there might be a situation where gold will still make you more money if you happen to have a pot of gold for epic arcane earrings and green forges, right? And in that situation, gold will probably make you more money. Gold Ore Rush is a little different. You're just going to want a bunch of panners. And if you do have panners, like the Panner family, for example, you could do an insane Gold Ore Rush. I'm actually curious to see how that would perform, but I probably won't bother wasting time testing it. Just like a massive gold ore rush where I do like 20k gold ore per hour or something. But you know, I might actually do that. Well, we'll see. If I don't end up lending anybody else my Panner family NFTs, I might actually do this myself, the gold ore rush in the competition. I'm actually not even sure how much cash I'll need for the competition yet. Candlestick will also be cash boosted, but this is stupid because if you're making candlesticks, you might as well make Philosopher's Stones and sell that since that's the meta, right? So nobody should be selling candlesticks. Probably nobody will sell Mystic Matter, just sell gold ore to get all the cash you need, which is a very generous cash boost, really. Gold ore, easy to make, and you're getting a bunch of money doing this. Martin says, lol, is that the stone that helps lives forever? Yeah. I know what it's made of, just watch the Y-Files. It's made of urine? Really? What the hell? I've only ever heard of this in Harry Potter. I don't know any other shows or books or movies where it's mentioned or used. Trade time is 1 minute, by the way. Not that good. Just keep that in mind. That will kind of hurt for the gold ore rush. You will want to use probably multiple freight piers, multiple freight piers to sell them in batches of 100. So there's that. Let me turn these on, by the way. Oh, you can't see it, but I'm turning on the row production in my daily town. There we go. Daily challenge. Okay, that was it for the details on the competition. So like I said, this one's going to be very similar to candlesticks. So I'm also going to pull up the candlesticks build showcase that I shared back in February. So it was a little over 3 months ago now. Arshel says, I missed my 225 spot because not logging in at the time. Damn. I heard somebody say they couldn't log in for the past couple hours. I don't know how long they were in offline mode either. Did anybody else have that issue? Not being able to log in at the very end? Nice. Okay, as I was saying, candlestick build showcase. This one was doing 20 per hour, as you can see in the production monitor here. Let me go back just a little bit. There we go. And this one we did have the mountain, but we didn't use it at all for this. We will only be making limestone for the mystic matter. That's what we would want to have in mind for the philosopher's stone. But you do want to take advantage of the river, have your sheep pens close to it since they need 5 passive water, right? Tree farms, of course. You're gonna need quite a good amount of vanilla fields, since you will need vanilla beans to make the candlesticks, of course, if you remember how to do this. If you're brand new, you've probably never done this before, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle because this one's not that easy. And now that we're going a step up and trying to make Philosopher's Stones, it's going to be even harder. But as you can see, I use nuclear power to provide passive energy to the pottery shops. There's nothing casting dirty that would slow them down. You will need a forge somewhere. I have the forge right in the corner over there that was making gold. So you will still need a forge making gold for the candlesticks. And that extra gold ore that you have, some of that will go towards the Philosopher's Stone. But yeah, that's not an issue. The oil seep position is different than the biome we're going to be getting. So just take that into consideration. You really can't use the same exact build as this, but this will still give you a good idea of what amount of each thing you will need. I really don't think you can make 20 Philosopher's Stones, just like I was making 20 candlesticks here, just because you'll also need 40 mystic matter if you're trying to reach that same rate. And you're gonna have to have additional beehives to make honey, honeycomb, a pantry to store the honey in, and then wizards towers, right? In order to make the glue and the mystic matter. And then another master wizard at the very end to make the Philosopher's Stone. So you need a couple more buildings. It's not a whole lot more, but it is a couple more buildings. So if I had to guess, you could maybe do 15, at least 15 per hour on Philosopher's Stones is my guess. It's very similar, 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there. I guess if you came out with a very good rate, I'm sure there's somebody that's going to be able to make 20 per hour. They'll still make it work. But yeah, just make sure that your master wizard that's going to be making the Philosopher's Stone is within the 2 crude oil range of the oil seep. Which, once again, it's going to be over here closer to the west. Partial says, I tried to log in for 20 minutes, but didn't able to get in. Yeah, so it was only about 20 minutes. Oh, disconnected with about 5 minutes left, says Shenrat. Hate when that happens. Martin, cooking over and over till it's a stone that glows in the process. Is it actually a real thing? or just always in like movies? Because I've never heard of it, you know, other than Harry Potter. This morning it took so long to load, but it got in good after that. Okay. Morris says, how do you think the rates will look like? Top 100, 50, 25, 10. I know in the candlestick competition, I did 160 per hour. I was just looking at that because I was already thinking about practicing for the next week's competition, but I couldn't because I lent out a lot of the NFTs that I needed. So I'll start practicing later today. What did I get? I'm pretty sure I got top 25. I don't exactly remember what rate I got. So top 25 will probably be at least, shoot, maybe not at least, somewhere around 150 Philosopher stones. That's probably too high too. That's what I hope I'll be making. Maybe like 120 Philosopher stones. Top 50, maybe like 90 per hour. Top 100, maybe like 70 per hour. If you're asking me to guess now, I would say those numbers. I don't know how accurate that's going to be. But yeah, somewhere around there. I would recommend also trying to get an idea of how people did in the candlesticks meta, like how many candlesticks. Let me ask you guys, those of you who remember, right, that are watching. What was your candlesticks rate and what ranking did you get? If you happen to remember, right? Because I know sometimes it's hard to remember this stuff. Martin says 2 crude oil, so you need pumps. That's funny. You really don't. Just use the oil seep. Even for people that have a bunch of NFTs and you're going to be making a high rate like me, right? You can still use the oil seep, or you can use a NFT that gives 2 passive crude oil, you know, like the haunted wing or the haunted porch, and you should be okay. You really don't need that much crude oil. Like, yes, it depends if you have a crystal reindeer or not, so then you'd need multiple master wizards. But I really don't think you need that much crude oil. Martin also says, the guy from the Y files made one. Takes long, smelly time, but yeah, it's real. The Y file sounds like some kind of joke. See, I was Googling it right now, but let me see if I can find what you're talking about, Martin. Let me see. Let's see. The Y files. The TV series from 2023, so it's not that old. Okay, well, I've never heard of it. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'll have to take a look at that later. Luvena, hello, by the way. Nodori says Philosopher's Stone is a legendary substance that alchemists tried to find because it is said to be able to turn metals into gold. Ah, yeah, I've heard of that before, that theory. From somewhere, I don't remember from where. Well, anyway, okay, I guess that's why gold ore kind of makes sense. All right. Anyways, yeah, that's what we'll be making. We'll be making Philosopher's Stones. In my opinion, it's very similar to candlesticks, so it shouldn't be too crazy to figure out. I should be making a no NFT build for it. It'll be somewhat... Okay, well, it'll be inspired by this. It's not going to be the same build, obviously, because the gas setup's going to have to be in the west side because of the new oil seep position. But it definitely will be inspired. My guess is that I'll try to aim for at least 15 per hour, but I think a little bit higher than that is possible. You're still gonna want... I will probably have the same amount of pottery shops, very similar nuclear setup. It'll just be on the other side, right? You can't see my mouse. There we go. Yeah, the nuclear setup will probably be on the east. The gas setup will be on the west. So this is flipped. This will probably be flipped. Maybe I'll have the beehive set up in the middle. Maybe I'll change it up and have it closer to the top or at the bottom. That I haven't decided on yet, but it definitely will be inspired, somewhat similar, but not the same design. And yeah, obviously for Philosopher's Stone meta. Greg Nelson says, "Hi Dub, is there a way to save your build? I post the files for the visualizer, so those are saved." Is that what you meant, Greg Nelson, or did you mean like a build that you made? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but like the builds I share, like this one right here, they are all on my Discord. They are all going to be on the video posted channel. Right here, video posted channel. And basically each time I post a build showcase video, I will also post the visualizer and you can download it. And these only work on the Townstar Planner. Let me go there. Townstarplanner.online, which is also linked in the description, right? And there's going to be a section which allows you to load in the visualizer. You probably already know this, but just in case anybody else is watching that doesn't know this, right? Might as well explain it. Give me a second. I was doing some testing here and I had to keep it a secret. Can't leak my build too early. Yeah, so once you go to the Townstar Planner, you go to Build Manager and you will load up your file and it will pop up here. I don't think it'll work if you're trying to load it up on Build Hub because it might not be up to date. Oh, they have a YouTube channel, Martin? Yeah, it showed up here once I searched it up. I see it. I might check it out real quick. A little later. Just to see what it's about. I don't expect me to watch all the videos or anything, right? Greg says, the builds I made in the competition, only if you also put it on the visualizer. There's no way to like copy this and immediately paste it to the visualizer. There used to be a way using a script, you know, something you had to install in your browser, like a Tamper Monkey script. And I think that was only for townguide.eu, if any of you remember using that, right? There was Gatsu's visualizer. But basically, there's no way to do that anymore. At least I've not heard anyone do that. So yeah, there's no way to do that anymore. You would have to put it on the visualizer yourself. Usually people make their visualizer and then they build it in the competition, not the other way around. Sometimes I do it the other way around. But yeah, usually you would want to design your stuff here first and then make sure you save it, right? Just in case you have to refer back to it in the future. At the very least, take a screenshot of your build, right? But yeah, that would be the only way. Martin says UFO, Black Pyramid, Pyramids. Yeah, like the creepy myth stuff. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and knock this out. And then last thing I'll do after this is search up the new NFC. Well, I'll probably do it in the middle of doing this. See, I already have NFC Harbor pulled up. I was actually expecting those Memorial Day badge things to release on Monday. It sounds like they delayed it because they are making sure that the boosts apply correctly. I think that's what Isma said on the Discord channel. So it does sound like they were intending to release them on Monday, but because there was possibly a bug, they decided to delay it. If they decide not to release it at all, I'll be completely fine with that too. right? They change their mind. They don't want to sell them. Because I think they should know people are gonna buy those. But yeah, if they decide not to come out with those, yeah, that's fine. It's completely fine. But yeah, we know they're probably gonna come out with those badges anyways. Okay, this is the NFT that's expected to probably release today. In addition to maybe the Memorial Day badges if they finished updating them, I don't know. But this one was mentioned in the post. Not as an official sale happening yet, but it was mentioned that it works like a Master Wizard. So it says Conjure Brilliance with this rare Alchemist Academy NFT, that's what it's called. This magical NFT skips the need for crude oil. Its special recipe requires none. It's a Master Wizard that works 25% faster. That's movement speed, by the way. For just 10% wage increase. This is an interesting concept. And it also says this NFT earns 5 town points. Okay. So first of all, crude oil. The only recipe that will use crude oil would be the Philosopher Stone. Also, crude oil is not a big deal, right? Most people have NFTs that give passive crude oil, and in this case, you also have the oil seam. So this is terrible if it actually does make it so that you don't require crude oil, because crude oil is not a big deal. I have a theory that they actually changed the description, and when they officially announce the sale, or once it comes out in the Gala store and we see the actual description, right? The altered description, if they did alter it, I'm not saying they did, I just have a theory. I have a theory that they changed it so that it doesn't require mystic matter for crafts. Maybe I should keep this theory to myself though, because it's just speculation. I don't want to confuse people. But whatever, I already said it. So that's my theory. And if it's true, if it ends up not requiring mystic matter for crafts, that means that the Philosopher's Stone won't require mystic matter, which is pretty powerful, but it's not going to break the game or anything, right? Like the original concept for the Alchemist Stand was going to. And it'll also make it so that enchanted objects won't require mystic matter, which is nice for the Christmas related metas, right? So that's my theory. If they do that, some people will definitely pick this up. If they don't do that, nobody will pick this up. Nobody at all. Nobody in their right mind will pick this up. It is a Master Wizard though. But still, it's not worth getting this just because it's a Master Wizard. 25% faster movement speed. I think the Epic Master Wizard does the same. 10% wage increase is kind of pointless. Nobody really cares about wage increases, but it's cool that they could maybe make it to where some NFTs have like a massive wage increase, like 500%, but it gives an even better buff. That's a cool idea, at least. Alina says, I was wondering how many NFTs you need to add for daily challenges. Ever counted them? No, I don't think I've ever counted them. I assume it's like 100. It's probably under 100 though. That'd be a good idea though. I might do that right now. But yeah, that's it for the Alchemist Academy. Like I said, they haven't officially announced it, so we don't know what its official description will be. This description could have changed. We'll see. Right, but that's the NFC that's supposedly coming out today. We did not hear you, pretending not. Yeah. Oh yeah, the market's not doing good today, Martin, is it? Yeah, I've seen that with Bitcoin, Gala, Ethereum. Let's keep placing stuff down here, right? Let's see. I'll do a quick count in a moment. I would assume it's close to 100 though. Yeah, I've seen this one person that completely fills up their town with the town point eligible NFTs. Like they must have been here since 2021 or something. They have so many of them. How many daily points do you get? About 4,600. Most of the time I am lending out at least some NFTs. So if I wasn't lending out any, it would probably be 4,800 or 4,900 around there. And I mean, I lend them out assuming my supporters that are borrowing them are actually doing the daily challenges, right? I would assume so. I would still get half of those points. $4,800, not bad, a couple less than me. Yeah, you probably have more dirt than me too. Well, I mean, if you have more town points, right? I would say about once a month I forget to do the daily challenge. And was it this month that I forgot to do it twice? But one of the times it's because we couldn't log in that whole day. You guys remember? That wasn't too long ago, right? That was like a week ago. That was 2 weeks ago. Express Depot and the haunted NFTs. You're joking? Oh. I'll believe you if you said you got more. I mean, maybe you got 5,000 a day? I don't know. It would probably be easier to count if I placed everything next to each other. But no, I usually just place it wherever. Sometimes I don't even bother putting the vending machine, but it's 1 point. Is there something else? 4,600? I think there's like one more thing. Oh, the greenhouse. Oh yeah, the mills. Yeah, the mills I just got. Okay. Way less than 389. Oh. Alright, after this I'm gonna take back all my NFTs and start practicing. Well, I gotta eat lunch and do some other stuff, but then at some point later today I'll start practicing. Count them on the claim screen? That's actually a better idea. Hopefully that's a better idea. I mean, I know some of them. Like, I know I have 14 crane bots, 8 styling rides. So let's see. Let me try to count them on here. 4? Are all the crane bots next to each other? And that's 14 plus 4. All right, 18. I don't know if this will be any easier on here. Well, hold on. Okay, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then I have 5 lolly and pop shops. That's 28, 32, 35, 38, 42, 46, 50, 52, 54, 56. We're counting the Miranda skin. 60, 62. Assuming I were to place everything down, right? Because some of these are in the guild, like I said. 62. Does that sound right? Maybe not. I mean, it worked. Assuming I counted that correctly, which I think I did. I think I counted that correctly. 62. And we have what? Like 200 spots here? We got more than 250. 250 something. 256 tiles. And granted, some of these take up less than the tile, right? Like these. There we go, 62. Not too bad. It's like 10 minutes to place all that stuff down, right? So if I'm actually trying, I can finish a challenge in 10 to 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and claim it. Last time I forgot to claim it on stream, but obviously I claimed it right after I ended the stream. There we go. Thing. Martin says maybe I can be wrong, but when NFT menu opens up, it says on top how many carry points. You are right, minus the how many? 22? These are the ones I have placed though, Martin. I did want to count all the ones that qualify for town points, so this was correct. It was 62. This number minus 22 should be how many I have placed right now. No, Martin, that wouldn't be right because I also have some other stuff late. Like this doesn't give me town points. This doesn't give me town points. This doesn't give me town points. So you would have to exclude all those other ones. So that's not exactly correct. That wouldn't give you the exact right number. Unless you were to only place down town point eligible NFTs, but you have to remember that fireworks and ornaments are auto applied. So that's 22 right there that are always active. So in my build showcases, I used to show this and like scroll through, right? And at the top you could see 22 placed down, but like I don't want people to get confused. You just kind of have to take my word that I'm not using NFTs. I always check it myself. I mean, people copy the build and replicate it, so they can tell. Oh, placed it, yeah. Placed down. DeFi says fruit greenhouse was a good discount. The price seemed to keep changing. That's because the price of Gala is changing. Yeah, that's a good topic to talk about also. Greenhouse, they did something I did not expect. I don't think anybody expected this. The greenhouse, the fruits greenhouse is $300 in the Gala store regularly. They put out a blog post saying it was going to be 50% off, but they got the initial price wrong. So it really should have been 150, but they decided to honor the blog even though they got the original price wrong on the blog. So it ended up being like a 70% discount. I think it's a 71%. Yeah, it is a 71% discount. So the price went down all the way to $87.50 if I'm not mistaken. So if you don't already have a fruits greenhouse, that's like the best deal you can get in the fruits greenhouse. If you remember, it's one of the top NFTs that I would recommend in my top 40 NFTs video that I posted not too long ago. Just a general reminder on how it works. It gives a 10% movement speed boost to farmers and tractors. Tractors are the more important thing, right? Not huge, but it can make a difference. The main reason you would want it is for the 50% craft time reduction to 8 different crops. 3 of those have a very high craft times. I believe those are the bamboo shoots, coffee beans, and the lettuce heads. I believe those 3 had a high craft times, but it also gives a 50% craft time reduction on wasabi, mushroom, seaweed, blueberries, and strawberries, which have lower craft times. Like those really aren't an issue, but like still 50% craft time reduction, it'll save you a couple spots on those. But definitely bamboo shoots, coffee beans, lettuce heads. So if you already have a Tunnel of Loves that give passive bamboo shoots, or the specialty coffee carts that give passive coffee beans, or the Spring Guardians that give passive lettuce heads, the Fruits Greenhouse isn't going to be as powerful. Like, it doesn't really make sense for me to have it, but I'll still use it in some situations. That 10% movement boost to the tractors could actually get me the extra brine for the extra salt that I need to make something work. Like, I did use it on my stack box build. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was on the side of the road here, and it did help me get the extra brine that I needed to make all the salt that I was making. So it actually did help me, but it's not going to help me in every single situation. But yeah, for most people out there, I definitely would recommend the Fruits Greenhouse, especially at that price. That's an insane deal. And I think that sale's gonna end when? In a couple days, right? Let me see if I can find the blog again. It's gonna be a you snooze, you lose situation. Sunday is the day it ends. I think it's like in the middle of the day. Yeah, in the middle of the day. So basically tomorrow, Saturday, is the last full day that you have a chance to get it. Oh, here's the blog again. So yeah, they're honoring. Oh, they actually edited it on the blog too. They changed it. So they're honoring the 70% discount. 71% discount's huge. I've talked about this before, of course, but like I said, Master Coppersmith is good. It's just meta specific. So you'll do an amazing job on jewelry metas that require copper. Nourish Coop. Yeah. I'll probably get 2 more Nourish Coops. We'll see. It depends, but it's an okay deal. It kind of reminds me of when the Nourish Barns went on sale, and not everybody bought them at the time, but a couple people bought them, and eventually they did sell out. What do you think of the Master Coppersmith? Yeah, the Master Coppersmith, I do think it is worthwhile at that price, but yeah, just keep in mind that one's more meta specific. You're more likely to use the Fruits Greenhouse more often than the Master Coppersmith, in my opinion. But yeah, in jewelry metas, you'll have so much more of an advantage with the Master Coppersmith. In most jewelry metas, not even all of them. There's some jewelry metas that don't require copper, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's it for this. Probably out of all 4 weeks, this one turned out to be the best one. The third, which one was the worst one? Was it the second week? I think the second week was the worst one. The third one, the only good thing was the specialty coffee cart, because it was 60% off. And the first one, the best thing was the tiny bakery, in my opinion, because it was 50% off. That's just my opinion on those things anyways. As usual, I mean, if you're free to play, you're free to play. Don't spend any money on these NFTs. It could be, I mean, possibly you're spending the Gala that you got for free from the competitions. That's completely fine, you know? That's progression. That's free to play progression. That's awesome. More than likely, you should probably buy skins first if you haven't already done that. But yeah, that's how it goes. He also shared his ice block build. Okay, it's a decent one. All right, but I think that was it. If any of you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to ask. What did y'all think about the Vexi Villages competition? It ended on Thursday. I ended up getting top 350, even though I gave it almost no efforts. I logged in like once a day. I think I only had like 400 points. So top 350, that's 50 galas. Yeah, I don't really care about that. I get more from Champions Arena. So the 50 gala I don't really care about, right? And I like I said before, I find Eternal Paradox even more fun than Vexi Villages, but Vexi Villages is more chill. At least I can understand why people like it. Because because they don't have to check it all the time. Though I think in the competition, if you wanted to be competitive, you had to check it every couple hours, if I'm not mistaken, because your coffee stands get full, or your cafe or whatever. So you have to check it every couple hours to claim the points. So it's not like super idle either. I heard people say it's smooth. The rewards got delivered almost immediately. I think it was within 3 hours. Rewards got paid out. There's maybe no cheating. As far as we can tell, there's no cheating. Somebody said it was a little buggy. That's probably just the game and not the competition, so I get that. I mean, it was buggy in BlueStacks. I showed that on stream. There's definitely going to be changes because they said in the AMA there would be different ways to get points, so there's that. I mean, it's a work in progress. This was the first competition for Vexi Villages. They got to start somewhere, and I think this was a good start at least. Spartan says it was smooth, leaderboard was accurate, and payout was fast. Loved it. The thing I would like to see with the leaderboard though, although you do say it's accurate and you're right, I would like to be able to actually scroll and see more than 20 spots above me and 20 spots below me. I would like to see the entire leaderboard. Because if you're not in the top 20, you can't see who's in first place. So yeah, that's one thing I would like to see changed. Maybe that'll make the leaderboard more laggy, I don't know, but that's one thing. They could probably be more, well, can they? Can they be more descriptive with the competition details? I heard several people saying they don't know how to do the events. They're selling stuff and they're not getting points, but they didn't read the part where it says only coffee gives 10 points and office supplies gives 20 points. They didn't scroll down, they just clicked on join event. And like, yes, I could have explained that in the video, but at the time I didn't know that. And yeah, hopefully I'll make another video before the next event starts. And I'll actually tell people, hey, pay attention to what the meta is. The competition, the announcement that Kate puts out probably won't even tell us, so won't really know until the event starts, it seems like. I was 118 in Vexi competition. Nice, nice. But it seems like they'll do one once a month. Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna stop in a few minutes. Well, probably, I think I talked about everything I needed to talk about. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah. That's my girlfriend. Alright. Actually, yes, I'm gonna clean back all my NFTs and start practicing in a moment. Thanks so much, Dub. Yeah, no problem, Rachel. Thank you all for being here and hanging out in the last couple minutes of the competition and even the hour after that. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Once again, plan is I will make a build showcase for the Philosopher Stone meta. Oh gosh, she dropped the broom. Alright, yeah, I gotta go then. I'll see you all later. Take care. As usual, I'll be on Discord. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.